Hello everyone and welcome to Broken Sword, the Shadow of the Templars. The original and, for my money, still the best of the Broken Sword series. So, my name is Pete. I'm joined today by...
Viv.
Okay. And this is our second attempt at a Let's Play. And in fact, our second attempt at the second attempt at a second Let's Play. So, hopefully, eventually we'll find one that works. If you're watching this, it means it's worked. If not, then... we've probably abandoned this whole idea and moved on with our lives, but we're gonna start up a new game now, and I'll just give you the background of this challenge just once the credits start rolling. Okay, here we go.
Paris in the fall, the last months of the year and the end of the millennium. The city holds many memories for me, of cafes, of music, of love, and of death.
I love that intro so much. Okay, so the general idea behind this Let's Play channel is that my friend Viv here is partially sighted, and because of that she can't play video games herself, but she is interested in learning about them. So is that more or less right, Viv?
Yep.
So because of that, I'll be playing the games and showing them to her, letting her make suggestions if it's the right kind of game for that, and just generally just boring the arse off everyone here, just pointing out how interesting everything is. Okay, so this game is, as I said, this is Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars. This is developed by Revolution Software in 1996. This game came out. So most of the people watching probably weren't even born by then.
It's true.
Bloody millennials. Anyway, we can see it from this opening screen. It takes place mainly in Paris, and there, Barrington Fallon, fellow who did the music. He's sadly deceased recently, but you might not know the name, but if I were to tell you that he did the music for Inspector Morse, that might be a bit more impressive. So now here we go with the story. And this is our hero, George. And... Hiya, Georgie!
Oh. I was given no prior warning.
I have been building up to that all day. I should probably point out at this stage, Viv loves clowns.
Oh, stop!
Yeah. So yeah, in terms of an opening, I think that's pretty effective. I mean, we just click the start button and boom, cafe explodes.
As I picked myself up, all I could hear was the ceaseless drone of traffic. Life went on around me. But the explosion was to change my life forever.
Yep, to the tunes of 5 games and counting. Okay, so now we're in the game, and this is a fairly straightforward point-and-click interface this game uses, so you can see the arrow floating about on screen now. If it's not over anything interactable, then it's just a standard arrow. We can point George where we want to go, and he walks there as best as possible. And we have a nice collection of objects close together that demonstrate the different functions quite nicely. So this one, a set of moving cogwheels. If we right-click on it...
The umbrella had protected me from the bomb blast, but it was of no use to me now.
He examines the object. If we click on it... Sorry, if we left-click rather...
I contemplated crawling under the umbrella and pretending none of this had ever happened.
Then he tries to use it. And the next one is this magnifying glass here.
It was an iron lamppost.
So again, we right-click, George will look at the object, and if we left-click, he'll just take a closer look at it and try and discern
I
anything
considered
else.
climbing the lamppost, but it wasn't going to shed any light on the affair.
You see what he did there?
Yeah.
And then this hand picking up action here is for this mysteriously undamaged newspaper just next to the lamppost.
Wrapped around the lamppost was a newspaper.
And true to form, if we left click, we pick the object up.
The leading article referred to the visit of a Nobel Prize winner from some unpronounceable Eastern European state. That was the only news story. The rest was rumor, gossip, and sensationalism. Then I noticed the writing at the foot of the page. It read Salah ad-Din, 1345.
So yeah, all things considered, I think George is taking sitting outside an exploding cafe rather well.
He is, yeah.
He's
Not a scratch on him either.
Exactly, he's just standing outside reading the paper. And he said the umbrella shielded him from the worst of the bomb blast. That must be one tough umbrella.
Yeah.
And yet we've danced around the issue long enough now, so let's have a look at the cafe, shall we?
The blast had blown out the glass, leaving a gaping hole.
And let's go over for a closer look.
I examined the jagged glass remaining in the window. It was broken, all right.
Legal education paying for itself, clearly. Right, let's go in and have a look. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. I don't think there's anything like a paint wouldn't fix.
Considering a bomb just went off, it's...
Yeah. Well, the one thing that is looking rather worse for wear is, do you remember the old gentleman with the hat we saw going in?
It was the body of the old man. It was hard to believe I'd seen him alive only minutes before.
Sadly, that is the only time we see him alive in this whole game, so let's examine the body, shall we?
I tried not to meet his stare as I searched the dead man's pockets. No wallet, no papers, no credit cards. The guy's past was a blank page.
So, we don't know anything about him yet, but we will find out as the game wears on. And now we discover that George has his priorities right. There's an unconscious girl over here, but let's have a look at the bar first, shall we?
A mysteriously undamaged bottle of spirit stood on the bar.
Sounds good.
I needed a stiff drink, but I hated the taste of brandy.
Well, fair enough then, George, if it's not to your oh-so-refined palate. Okay, fair enough then. Let's move on to the waitress. So this is the next of the game's icons, this little mouth icon. Now, I don't know what you perverts think that that icon represents, but it's actually referring to talking to her. Go and wash your minds out with soap and water.
The pretty young waitress was unconscious.
Right, so let's try and wake her up and see if we can glean any information from her.
Oh, my head. Never again. How much vodka did I drink? Oh, no, don't tell me. What is your name, Sherry?
George Stobart, ma'am.
Oh, American.
She asked the question quite innocently, but I could sense her reserve. It was something which seemed to afflict all Europeans. You look like you could use a little help.
I could use a little drink. I feel sick, dizzy, and bruised. I don't even remember the party.
Just relax and take it easy. You've been knocked out.
You don't say. What happened?
There's been an explosion. You should try not to move.
Are you a doctor?
Now we have our first choice of the game.
I think we should lie.
Shall we lie?
Yeah.
Yeah, we may as well keep her calm.
Yes, I am. I studied under Dr. Benton.
Who is he?
Only one of the most brilliant medical minds on this planet. He taught me everything I know about medicine. Can you remember anything at all?
No. I need a drink. Pour me a brandy.
So, in our opinion, as a medical professional, and obviously you being a former nurse yourself...
I would say no this time.
Yeah. Okay, so little peek behind the curtain here. We've done this once before, but I kind of borked the recording slightly, so I think we're going for alternative attempts this time.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, let's see what we didn't find the last time. Okay, so let's deny her the brandy this time.
You could be in shock. No alcohol.
Okay, you're the doctor.
That's right.
What about the old man? Is he dead?
Do we want to lie? Or
No,
shall
I
we
think we
hit her
should-
with the full brutal facts of life and let her know the
we
old
should
gentleman's
say-
dead?
Yeah, he's dead.
Let him know he's dead?
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Ah, mon Dieu.
And she's out like a light again.
She didn't respond. If I wanted another cappuccino, I'd have to serve myself.
Priorities.
So, if we had given her the brandy, she would have taken it a bit better, and we would have been able to interrogate her further. But for now, she's out for the count, so let's move on. Oh, and we have the newspaper here, which we still have to examine.
It was a Paris daily tabloid newspaper, full of sex, scandal, and sports results.
So yeah, that becomes a puzzle for certain items. You actually have to examine them in your inventory to make sure you don't miss anything. So we've got all we can from here, so let's have a look back outside again.
Okay.
And we see this is the second last of the icons in this game, the beckoning hand. This is for particularly large scenes like this. We just click here, and George makes his way to the opposite side of the screen and scrolls with him. And then last, but by no means least, the pointing finger of doom. So that's just used to signify exit points to the scene we're in. And if you cast your mind back to the opening cinematic, that's where the Crown made his escape. So let's see if we can't follow him. Okay, so first up we have a drain pipe.
The drain pipe
here.
looked as if it would bear my weight.
If it can bear George's weight, it can certainly bear the clown's.
Oh, yeah.
So he may have escaped that way. Let's see if we can follow him. Let's go!
I took a deep breath and prepared to climb the drain pipe.
No.
I guess
Okay,
the
let's
clown
not
had
go.
an escape over the rooftops.
Okay, maybe this window here?
The window was protected by stout-looking iron bars.
Is it possibly remove them all and then replace them as we went through?
Oh, clowns are evil.
This is true. Well, no go that way.
It was a stack of cardboard boxes which had once contained bottles of wine.
Shall we see if he's pulling a solid snake? That'll make sense if we ever let's play Metal Gear Solid on this channel.
Okay.
I examined the boxes closely. They were damp and smelly and decidedly empty.
Okay, no go there.
It was a battered old trash can.
Okay, what about the
He
bins?
could be in the bin.
Going for the jack-in-the-box approach. Alright, let's have a look-see. Bin number 1. Nothing there. Let's try bin number 2.
It smelled like someone had dumped a truckload of fish in a locker room on a hot summer afternoon.
Lovely.
Fair enough.
Okay. And bin number 3. Is it a clown?
Yes.
Nope. Something much worse.
Sneaky cat.
And we can try again, but
I'd had it with sticking my nose into French trash cans.
after that you're lucky you even have a nose, George. And the last thing we have here is this little crate.
It was a plastic crate.
That's what I said. And we can examine it, but
There was nothing of interest.
what he said. And so, there's only one final point exit the clown could have used. The manhole.
Yeah.
Let's see what we think.
It was an iron cover concealing the entrance to a drain or sewer.
Right, let's see if we can get it open.
I tried to lift the cover with my fingers, but couldn't gain any leverage.
Alright, so that is our first major puzzle of this game. We have to find a way to open that manhole cover. But we've exhausted all we can do for now, so let's move on. Right, there's a very dedicated workman here, still digging away, despite everything that's been going on, so let's see if we can ask him a few questions.
Freeze! Hold it, right there.
Whoa, don't shoot. I'm innocent. I'm an American.
Can't make up your mind, huh?
I demand to see the American consul.
Drop your weapons and get down on the ground.
Put that thing away, Sergeant Moo. I apologize, monsieur, but I cannot permit you to leave.
Am I under arrest?
Ah, no, I would simply like to ask you some questions. En avant, to the café, marche. What a mess. This bombing is an outrage, is it not?
Stop that, monsieur. Stop holding your breath at once.
Has it occurred to you that he may be dead, Moo?
Oui, monsieur. But I prefer to look on the bright side. Besides, I recall a case where the killer escaped by feigning death. However, in this case, the man is quite dead. Clearly, the killer knew of his presence and...
How many times have I warned you about premature extrapolation? All we know is that he is dead.
It seemed reasonable to assume...
A great detective assumes nothing. Take Maigret, for instance.
But he was a fictitious character, monsieur. Why, he was no more real than Poirot or Tintin.
That's different, Moo. They were comedy Belgians.
Comedy Belgian.
Anyway, it is unlikely that even you will learn much from talking to the dead. Examine the girl and take her statement, if you can. Et maintenant, to business. Your name, please?
George Stobart. I'm from California.
And what brings you to Paris, Monsieur Stobart?
Travel. I'm touring Europe.
You chose well. The city is most beautiful at this time of year, no?
Yeah, I guess so, apart from the bomb blasts.
Were you in the vicinity of the cafe at the time of the explosion?
Yeah, I was sitting out on the sidewalk. I was lucky I wasn't killed. The inspector passed over my remark with no reaction.
Did you see the deceased enter the cafe?
Did we? Shall we be honest or shall we lie?
Let's be honest.
Yes, why not?
Yes, I did.
Was he alone?
Yeah.
And did he say anything to you?
No, he was more interested in the waitress.
Did you see anyone else in the cafe?
So we can either deny seeing someone, or we can tell him about our friend the clown.
Yes, tell him about the evil clown.
Yes, let's tell him.
Yeah, there was a guy dressed as a clown. He was carrying an accordion.
An accordion? Bon, the picture is forming in my mind, and it is not a pretty one. Is the girl all right, Moo?
She'll live. She confirms the doctor's statement.
Oui? You did not tell me you are a doctor, monsieur?
Yeah.
No,
About
that's
that.
right. I didn't think it was relevant.
Eh bien, I have heard enough.
What do you mean?
I am satisfied that you know nothing. You may leave. Enjoy your vacation, Dr. Stobart.
What about my personal safety? Can't you at least give me some advice?
What can I say? Stay alert and look out for suspicious characters.
And don't cross the road until the little man shows green.
Great advice.
I honestly believe
Well,
you
maybe
are
not.
in
That'll
no
save your life
danger.
one day.
Should you remember anything of importance, please contact me. My card.
Thanks.
That is all. You may go.
There's not much to go on, monsieur.
On the surface, no. But what lurks inside the subconscious? If the door can only be opened.
Are you serious, monsieur? I thought your interest in psychic detection was purely academic.
Academic? You are about to witness a scientific breakthrough.
some minor technical difficulties there. Apologies for that. Okay, so now back outside the cafe, we can now, and we have the inspector's card.
The card read, Augustin Rousseau, and gave an address to the south of the Montparnasse Cemetery.
So now we have Sergeant Moo out here.
The sergeant was a scrawny man in his 50s who resembled a constipated chicken.
And this young lady is now arrived on the scene.
The girl presented a confident but sullen mask to the world, an expression more suited to the face of a delinquent youth.
So we can either talk to Sergeant Moo or to this new young lady here.
I think you should talk to the girl.
Yes, let's have a word with her.
Excuse me, mademoiselle? Hi, my name's George Stobart.
Oh, an American by the sound of it.
Yeah, that's right, on holiday in Paris. Some holiday, huh?
You were here when the bomb went off?
Sure was. Sat right out front of the cafe.
Did you notice a middle-aged man, maybe 60, with an hat and overcoat?
I couldn't believe it. She hadn't even asked how I was feeling. Yeah, he went inside just before the bomb exploded. You weren't related to him, were you?
Oh no, nothing like that. I am Nicole Collard from La Liberté.
What's that, some kind of nightclub?
No, it is a newspaper.
You're a reporter?
I'm a freelance photojournaleest.
Say, you could interview me about the bombing. You know, an eyewitness account. Minutes after the outrage that shook the whole of Paris. You know, real-life drama, human interest, that kind of stuff.
I'll just stick to the facts, thank you. Did you see who planted the bomb?
I know it sounds crazy, but he was dressed like a clown.
Oh God, it's him again.
Okay, so now we have a whole wealth of conversation options. We can ask about the clown, about the old gentleman who came by, about Nicole herself, or about Inspector Rousseau.
I think we
Or we
should
can
carry on talking about the clown just for a second.
Now we can also show her some of the items we have with us. That's to ask her about the clown, because it sounds like she has business with him before.
Yeah.
Have you met the clown before?
It's
Like
a
I
long
said.
story.
I have plenty of time.
I don't.
Oh, okay.
So we're looking to talk about it for now. But
What about the man who was killed?
yeah, let's talk about the old gentleman.
Who's the guy you were supposed to meet?
His name was Planter.
So now we have a name.
I didn't know him, but he called me last night. He said he had a story which would interest me. He asked me to meet him at the cafe. I guess I'll never know what he wanted to tell me.
Not unless you have Rosso's gift for psychic interrogation.
Maybe.
So what next?
Maybe.
Should we ask about herself? Yeah, let's ask her about herself.
You speak very good English for a French girl.
Thanks. You speak very good English from America.
Yeah. There's probably a Donald Trump joke in there somewhere, but I don't want to get too political this early in the
Maybe
channel's history.
question again about the old man.
About the old man?
Yeah.
How did Plantar get your name?
Through the newspaper La Liberté. I'd written an article linking two unsolved murders. One in Italy, the other in Japan. The cases were remarkably similar. A wealthy victim, no apparent motive, and a costumed killer. Planter said he could supply me with more information.
Okay.
Okay,
Maybe more clown.
let's ask about the clown.
Why won't you tell me about this clown?
Why do you want to get involved?
Because he almost killed me. Isn't that reason enough?
I guess so. Listen, I'll give you my phone number. You help me with my story and I'll let you in on what I know. And let's get one thing straight right now. This is strictly business.
Okay, it's a deal.
I have to go develop these pictures. À bientôt, monsieur.
Fine, I'll, see you soon.
Something tells me I'm into something good. Alright, let's move on back to Sergeant Moo again, shall we?
Excuse me, Sergeant.
You heard the inspector. Go on, monsieur.
So now we have the option of talking about the gentleman's briefcase as well, in addition to the old man himself and the clown, as usual.
Maybe we should start with the old man.
Okay.
I was one of the last people to see the victim alive, Sergeant.
Does that worry you?
Yes, it does. I feel I owe it to him to find his killer.
That is best left to the authorities, monsieur. Did he speak to you? Tell you anything?
No, he just grinned and nodded.
Don't let it trouble you, monsieur. Go home and try to forget.
So, shall we continue asking about
I
the old
think
man?
so, yeah.
I know the identity of the dead guy. His name was Plantow.
Is that so? You knew him, did you?
No, but
We'll know everything there is to know about him soon enough.
I'm trying to be helpful here.
The best way you can help us is to go home, monsieur.
Yeah, that's the mainstay of all detective fiction, the police being useless and never accepting any help that is given.
This is true.
So,
Maybe the briefcase?
who knows what could be in it?
Did you find the victim's briefcase yet?
No, sir. The inspector gave me specific instructions to guard this door. Until he countermands these orders or backup arrives, here I stay.
Yeah, sounds like being a French policeman's easy job.
Totally. I suppose clowns are an option.
Yeah, let's go with the clown.
I really did see the clown. He ran into the alley across the street.
Did you follow him?
I lost him. I figure he went underground.
Do you know how many kilometers of sewers there are beneath this great city?
It's not a question I've lost sleep over.
I have no doubt that Inspector Rousseau will organize a proper search.
So now we can ask about it, Inspector Rosso himself.
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
How did you and Rosso arrive at the scene of the explosion so quickly? You arrived within minutes. Was it a tip-off?
Within minutes, you were faffing around for ages, George.
Sources are a perpetual mystery to me, monsieur. There are some who say he has made a pact with the devil.
And what do you think?
I think he is the devil.
Oh,
Shall we ask any more about the devil?
absolutely.
What is Rosso doing with that girl?
He is giving her the once-over, as you Americans say.
Huh?
Once he gets his teeth into a case, nothing will shake him off.
Was he serious about all that psycho-detective stuff?
Of course. Inspector Rousseau is a pioneer and a visionary. His revolutionary methods, once perfected, may change the face of law enforcement forever.
I can't see it taking off in L.A.
So that's all the conversation topics exhausted. So shall we move on to the items?
I don't know. I always think it's like he's a cop, he might confiscate them.
Yeah,
Right, as
we kind of need these to continue the case, or to continue the game. So none of these ever get confiscated.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Shall we show them the newspaper?
Maybe, yeah.
I found this in the street, Sergeant.
That, monsieur, is a newspaper, no?
There's a note written on it. Salah Eddin, 1345.
Ah, so the meeting with the clown was planned.
How do you make that out?
The time of the explosion was between 1:30 and 2 o'clock, n'est-ce pas?
I guess so. But what about the name?
Aha!
That stumped you, hasn't it?
I have never been stumped, as you put it, in my life, monsieur. It is the name assumed by the clown, no?
Salah Eddin the clown? I don't think so.
Well, Saladin, the children's favourite, kind of has a ring to it. But yeah, you raise a good point. We just show a massive piece of evidence we removed from the crime scene, and he's just cool with it, really.
Yeah.
Right, and shall we show him the inspector's card, just while we're here?
Yeah, okay.
No, why not?
Look, Sergeant, the inspector gave me his card.
Yes, monsieur. He wants you to advise him if you have any information concerning this case.
Well, I'd be glad to talk with him, but I don't want him working his psycho weirdness on me.
Ah, no, monsieur. You are confusing the science of parapsychology with witchcraft.
Oh, yeah? What's the difference?
We don't do sacrifices.
Give it a try, you might get better results.
Yes.
Okay, that's all we can get from the sergeant for now.
See you later, Sergeant.
Right, let's go back to the workman, shall we? Back to where we were before we were so rudely interrupted.
Set into the huge gate was a smaller access door.
We'll see what's on the other side of that door later on, but if we try it for now...
The door was securely locked.
Okay, so now we can look at what's in this tent.
It was a tent made out of plastic sheeting. There was nothing inside the tent except a large toolbox.
Here's the toolbox here.
Oh.
It was a battered metal toolbox.
Now, what was the puzzle we were looking for a solution
getting
to?
an manhole cover.
Exactly, so could there be a tool that we could use for that just in here?
Right.
Let's find out.
Hey, stop that! Get away from there! What do you think you're doing?
I was admiring your toolbox.
Are we? Had a good look, have you? I'm warning you, if you touch it, I'll crack your nut.
Okay, I get your point.
Okay, so we've got toolbox right there, but this guy isn't too pleased about us using it. And the other thing he has here, we have a telephone.
It was a huge and weighty-looking engineer's telephone.
Don't touch that phone!
Sorry.
Yeah, he's very possessive, this guy.
Yes.
And this kind of dates the game somewhat. So if this game had been made nowadays, George would just have a mobile phone he could use, but alas, didn't have them back in the day, so we have to get him out of the way if we want to use this one. So, right, so let's see if we can reason with him. Let's have a look at him first.
The muscular workman wore a morose expression, like a silent warning to leave him to get on with his job.
Okay, let's try talking to him then.
Hey, you!
I thought you'd been arrested.
No, it was a misunderstanding.
When he pulled that gun, gah! I thought that was it. Those automatics pack quite a punch, you know?
He made a mistake. He thought I was a terrorist.
You? A terrorist? Ha!
He was only doing his duty, I guess. What's in the toolbox?
What's in the toolbox? As if you didn't know. What's the big deal about tools, anyhow?
They're cool. Tools are civilization.
You don't say.
That's right. Tools are what distinguish us from other animals.
Who are you calling an animal? I've met your sort before. Looking down your nose at me because I'm working class, huh? I've a good mind to knock your block off.
Yeah, he's a friendly type.
Shall we try again, or shall we move on to another topic?
Maybe ask about the clown. You might
Alright.
see them.
Did you see a clown come by this way?
A clown? Like in a circus?
Yeah, with makeup and a big red nose.
Huh! Those guys are funny, aren't they?
Not in my experience.
I love the circus, especially the horses.
You haven't answered my question. Have you seen a clown?
You think I've got time to watch everyone who passes by? Some of us have to work for a living.
Shall we pursue the point further?
Um,
Is there even any point?
maybe ask about the old man.
Yeah, let's go for that.
Did you see an old guy with a briefcase?
Wait, silly old coot. Do you know what he said to me? Work fascinates me, he says. I could watch it all day. Care beat. I could have knocked his block off.
I think we've found this guy's favourite phrase.
Yeah,
Shall we continue asking about the old man?
maybe, yeah.
Right, let's try it again.
Did you recognize the old man?
No. Should I have done? Was he a celebrity?
No, but I guess he is now. His name was Plantar.
Was? He's dead then?
Yeah.
That's too bad. Now I wish I hadn't called him what I did. If only I could turn back the clock. If only I'd been more tolerant.
Regret and remorse are strange emotions. They really bring out the hammiest actors in people.
And speaking of hammy actors, shall we get back to the clown?
Yeah.
Look, I know you're busy, but surely you'd have noticed a clown.
I told you already. I didn't see a thing.
He was wearing multicolored baggy trousers and makeup.
He'd be a poor sort of clown if he didn't.
Fair point. Shall we ask again, or move back to the tools?
Ask again.
Listen, I have to find that clown. He's a killer.
Say, who are you anyhow? A cop?
No, of course not. I mean, do I look like a cop?
No, but you act like one, sticking your nose in where it's not wanted. How do you know this guy's a killer? Did you see him in action?
Didn't you hear the explosion? The cafe was blown up.
The clown killed the old man?
That's right. Blew him up with a bomb concealed in his squeeze box.
Merde. But why did he go to the bother of dressing up like a clown?
Who can unravel the tangled logic of a killer's mind? I guess it's some deep-seated psychological need. Or just plain showmanship.
Okay, tools again, I suppose.
Right, let's go for it.
What kind of tools do you keep in your box?
Huh? You really are interested in tools?
Sure, like I said, tools are...
Civilization. So you keep saying.
So, are you gonna show them to me?
Am I? Why, you?
Aw, come on. Just a little peek.
I've got work to do. Find someone else to bother.
One more time.
Yeah, why not?
Do you have a tool for lifting manhole covers?
As it happens, I do.
Aha.
Cool. Lend it to me, just for a few minutes.
No.
Aw, come on.
No. Get your own.
Pretty please. Cherry on top.
Let me explain what I'm going to do with your manhole lifting tool.
Let me explain what I'm going to do with my pick.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
hey, forget it. I'll come back when you're in a better mood.
It doesn't get any better than this.
Okay, so this, I believe in chess terms, is what's known as an impasse. So, we need the tool, he's not prepared to give it to us, so we need to find some way to get him out of the way so we can busy ourselves with the tool. What do we think?
Some kind of distraction.
Mm-hmm. And we still have 2 items here we can show him.
Oh, yeah.
We have the newspaper and the inspector's card.
Okay, let's start.
Shall we go just for the newspaper first?
Yeah.
Would you like to read my newspaper?
Pretending we don't already know the solution to this puzzle.
I haven't got time to read that. Can't you see I'm busy?
You could read it on your lunch break.
10 minutes is all I get. And if my boss had his way, I wouldn't get that. He'd have me on a drip, so I didn't have to stop to eat.
Oh, take the newspaper and quit complaining.
Bah! Look at this! Damn bleeding heart liberals! Tcha! Save the dolphins, catch them and eat them, I say! All that fuss over a bunch of fish! Nah, that's more like it! Look at the size of those! Like champagne bottle corks, no? Ah, what's this? Salah-Eddin running in the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe.
It's a racehorse?
A horse? A legend! Bucephalus reborn, mon ami! Like a streak of lightning she is! Do me a favor, won't you? Keep an eye on my hole.
Freezing.
I'm off to put some money on that nag.
What about your toolbox?
Stuff it. Help yourself.
There we go. So it turns out Saladin was not a clown, but was in fact a racehorse. So that's got him out of the way.
Oh,
And
toolbox.
now, let's have a closer look at that toolbox.
I'd found just what I wanted. A tool for lifting manhole covers. It was a metal rod with a handle at one end and a short cross piece at the other.
And we can now also use the phone. And this dates the game as well. Do you remember back in the day, Viv, when phones didn't save numbers and you had to write them all down?
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is actually a pretty cool little feature in this game. It's, we have Nicole's phone number here, but we also have the Saladin tip written down as well. This, as the game progresses, but when George hears more interesting things, he writes them down on this little bit of paper. But oddly enough, you can only view it when you're looking at when you actually use a phone, which is a bit weird. But later games and the director's cut version of this game, they just give you a journal straight off the bat that gets updated and you can just look at if you need to remind yourself at any points. Yeah, so we could call Nicole now, but we don't have anything to add just yet, so we'll come back later. Let's go and have a look down the sewers. That's an inviting prospect, isn't it?
High point of the game, yes.
Oh yeah, it's all downhill from here. And now, progress.
I lifted the cover to reveal what smelt like the entrance to a sewer.
I'm tempted to put the just playing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles theme at this point, but I probably shouldn't. Right. Down, down, deeper and down. Dramatic triumphant music as we descend into the sewers. Here we go, the richly detailed Parisian sewers.
It's lovely.
Yeah, now, this tiny little red pixel here, I don't know if you can see it, Viv.
Just about.
Yeah, that is a vital plot item, so we need to have a closer look at that.
It was a shiny red plastic ball sat incongruously on the slippery green slime floor.
What could that be, I wonder?
As I picked up the plastic ball, I realized it was intended to be worn.
Oh, that's the clown.
It was the clown's red nose.
Exactly. Further on into the sewers. Now you've got a trail. Now this drove me nuts when I was a kid. I spent ages trying to figure out some way to get over here or into this place in the background here. But yeah, unless I'm missing something, there's no way to get to these areas. We never go there in the game.
I'm sure someone will comment if
Oh yeah. I'm sure someone on the internet will know, but yeah, in all the times I've played this game, I have never found any way of getting over there. Revolution Martinis. I mean, let's look at the detail they've put in.
Yeah.
Honestly. But anyway, back to the hunt. Aha, what could this be?
It was a soggy, crumpled paper tissue.
Let's have a closer look at that as well.
I scooped up the sodden tissue. It was cold and greasy, like breakfast leftovers. The railing was put there for a simple reason, to stop people getting past. It worked.
Yeah, don't I know what all those hours I wasted trying to get past it. So it's pretty sturdy then, but there's one more clue just snagged on it there.
It was a small scrap of cloth caught on the rusting spike. I took hold of the scrap of material and unsnagged it from the spike.
So now we have 3 new pieces of evidence. 3 more than the police do.
Yeah.
The nose was hollow. Printed on the inside were the words, La Risée du Monde, Paris.
The scrap of cloth.
It was the scrap of material I'd found in the sewer.
And finally the tissue.
It was the soggy tissue I'd found in the sewers.
Nothing to add just yet, but they'll all become important in short order. So next, we have this ladder going up here. And now, when this game was first released, when the demo was first released, this was the point where the demo ended. So I'm going to call this episode to a close here, just leave everyone in wonder of what could be lying at the top of that ladder.
Need to know.
Join us next time and you'll find out. Okay. So there we go. So yeah, I think that went rather well for a second take, didn't it? Okay, so until next time, say goodnight, Viv.
Good night, Viv.
Good night, everybody. you.